Aloha, I'm the co-producer and the director for this new documentary, Aloha Āina, The Awakening of Walter Ritte. I was born and raised on the island of Molokai, and I've been documenting Molokai stories for the last 15 years. A lot of the stories I've covered have the common theme of Aloha Āina activism, which pretty much encompasses environmentalism, indigenous rights, and cultural preservation, grounded in Native Hawaiian cultural values and concepts of sustainability and self-governance. A lot of the stories I've covered through the years would often somehow involve Walter Ritte. Walter is kind of this legendary grassroots Native Hawaiian activist from Molokai. He was a key figure in the earliest days of the Native Hawaiian movement back in the 1970s, and he's remained on the front line since. Over the past 40 years, Walter Ritte has played a critical role in shaping what Native Hawaiian activism looks like today. His style is very in your face. It can be disruptive and sometimes polarizing. He calls things the way he sees it, and he's unapologetic about it. And whether people agree with his style or not, no one can deny that Walter Ritte has done much to elevate and address environmental and social justice issues in Hawaii. Documenting Walter for the past 15 years, I've gotten to know him pretty well. And what I realize is that his public persona and the way that he's often portrayed is very different from who he is in his private life. The other thing about Walter is that being a contentious public figure, people have all kinds of different opinions and ideas about who he is and what he's really even done. So I became fascinated in understanding this man's story. Who is he and what makes him tick? What kind of world was he born into and what kind of challenges did he face? And ultimately, how did he become this influential yet misunderstood person that he is today? One thing I can say right now is that Walter Ritte is an incredibly complex character, and his life provides a compelling window into the anger, the frustration, and the resolve of a generation of young Hawaiians who are trying to reclaim their identity in the 1970s. And it's this deeper story of the destructive impacts of American colonialism that really is at the root of the Native Hawaiian struggle. And by no means are we saying that Walter is the only or the best representative of the Native Hawaiian movement. The movement was in fact driven by countless individuals working on many different fronts, all of whom deserve recognition. We're telling Walter's story because he's willing to share it with unflinching honesty. And it's incredibly dynamic. It's a story about rising above seemingly insurmountable challenges. It's about how one man's struggle to survive ultimately transforms into a commitment to fighting for the survival of his people and the natural world. It's a story that looks at the making of an activist as well as the challenging realities of being an activist. And when we consider today's world and the struggles that are unfolding right now globally, this story is incredibly important. Our documentary is intended for PBS national broadcast. The $35,000 we're trying to raise through Kickstarter will allow us to finish developing the story and start early production. It also gives us the needed funding base to access production grants that require matching funds. We have an incredibly diverse team of accomplished filmmakers behind this project to ensure balanced perspective and creativity. Our crew includes young Native Hawaiian filmmakers to highly seasoned national level documentary producers. You can learn more about our project on our Kickstarter page, and you can follow us on Facebook with the links below. And on behalf of our filmmaking team, just want to say thank you in advance for your support and for helping to make this project a reality. Mahalo.